Another member of the WWE roster has been released, and that is not cool. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling and Carlito. Carlito Caribbean Cool, the man that can speak Chinese. He's no longer going to be speaking WWE because he's been released from the company, similar to R-Truth today. His contract will not be getting renewed. He will not be getting a new offer. He'll not be getting a new deal. And he will be gone. And that means that the Judgment Day are going to be a member light. And when you look at Carlito and his return and what they've done with him, I think it's an absolute disgrace.
It is a disgrace. We highlighted earlier with R-Truth on the Truth Killings that this guy had been misused. Could have been used in a career match, right? I'm not saying Carlito could, hang up the boots just yet, but I mean, being the absolute butt of the jokes in the Judgment Day, he's the biggest star between them.
I don't know. I don't care about the ending of R-Truth or Carlito. I'm on about their actual runs. They could have done so much more with these two guys.
Absolutely.
And for whatever reason, they haven't. Carlito, has he been punished over that Io Sky thing? I mean,
shite way before that.
Yeah, he was crap before that. Is that the reason he's not been renewed? I mean, could be.
Yes.
There's less deserving people that are keeping their jobs in WWE. Look at fucking Natalya. You want to talk about longevity and someone that's stuck around like a bad smell? I mean, Natalya's still there, offers absolutely nothing, but you almost feel like because of the family that she's in and the name value, they'll keep her around. But yeah, Carlito, not cool, but I mean, at the end of the day, he was doing absolutely nothing in WWE. Just playing an absolute moron in the Judgment Day. I'll miss Carlito, but what he's offered and what WWE's given him, it's not. You're not really missing anything, are you?
No, you're not. I genuinely believe with Carlito, he's one of these guys. But we've seen it. Like the 2010s, full of guys in that decade that get released and have came back and won world titles. Carlito is a guy that he debuted in an era where he suited being IC champion. He suited being that level. Could have very easily have been a world champion, especially on the SmackDown side of things at once upon a time.
Yeah, if Carlito was good enough to be like a mid-card guy and a mid-card champion back in 2004, 2005, 2006, he was in the chamber match. He was the final guy against John Cena. If he was good enough to be at that level then why the hell are we trying to pretend that he's not good enough to be at that level now? Because wrestling in 20 years has fucking nosedived. Alright, so if Carlito was good enough to be a champion, like a US champion, an IC champion, and if he was a guy that was in the upper mid card and could get the odd world title match, then you telling me that in 2023, 24, 25, when wrestling's went down the shitter, you tell me this guy's not good enough to be a world champion now? When Jey Uso's running about with a title, you tell me Carlito can't have a championship? It's an absolute fucking disgrace. Same goes for R-Truth.
Look at Priest.
Same goes for R-Truth.
Priest is very similar. But see Carlito, right? You're right. It's like, yeah, he couldn't quite make it as world champion 20 years ago. A lot of people didn't. I see it. Like a lot of people didn't. It's like Rob Van Dam, right? I know it's if buts, but I believe if the ECW thing never comes around, Van Dam doesn't win the world title, right? It's as simple as that. That just landed perfectly for him. There's numerous guys, man, for the Ruthless Aggression era and like Attitude era that you could have handed, in a different era, could have very easily been world champions. Look at it today, man. Damian Priest is a boring bat. That thing on SmackDown, that promo he cut is brutal. You're right, Jey Uso's 40, right? Cody Rhodes 41. Carlito, I mean, I've not looked up what age Carlito is, right? But I'm pretty sure he's
48.
Yeah, 48 in that ballpark. Is that really? I mean, does that make him more done than the rest of them? I mean, yeah, age is a thing in wrestling, but now, man, they're
46. We're in the middle. You said 44. I said 48. He's 46. He's the same age. He's a year younger than Finn Balor. 2 years younger than AJ Styles.
Yeah.
So I mean, the guy's not old by any means.
No, we have said that, like, it's time to get rid of all these guys that are old and shit like that. But the problem is that this guy was actually good in a previous era. You're talking about guys that are now just breaking into the business after 20 years in the Indies. 20 years ago, this guy...
Was JC Mateo not 43 or is that Jacob Fatu?
He's 43.
JC Mateo?
Fatu's like 43, I think.
It's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Carlito, 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, guys in fucking nightclubs with Jesus stabbing Cena.
I mean, yeah, you look at like R-Truth, right? R-Truth, amazing in 2012, right, when he turned heel, doing great stuff. But maybe you could say in 2012, look, you know what, there was still people, there were still top guys around. You still had Cena there full time. You had Punk at the height of his success, you know, the Punk at the peak of his career. You still had like Triple H, who would occasionally wrestle. Brock Lesnar came back. You know, you could maybe make a case, oh, well, R-Truth was just a bit unlucky, but when you look at it, see from 2012, R-Truth's careers just like went fucking downwards, and wrestling's also went downwards. It's not like there's a shitload of great talent that started coming into WWE after 2012 that pushed R-Truth down the card. WWE just decided that they were going to, I don't know, sabotage this guy's career for no reason whatsoever and push absolute shite.
Yep. It kind of feels like Truth was just kept around because him and McMahon were close friends.
I mean, you look at SmackDown, like so they can push guys like Daniel Bryan, Boren Del Rio can get a title. Jack Swagger, Big Show and Henry can trade the belt. Randy Orton and Christian, and I mean, I like those guys, but R-Truth could have been a champion in that period.
Absolutely. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Didn't. So could have Carlito.
And then it just seemed to be after that they brought in the NXT people. It just seemed to like, see even like when they brought in like the Nexus and the Y, it just seemed to be like they thought, well, you know, that's it. This new era's happening. So
see with Carlito though, I don't know what happened, but it's like it's almost like once they hit the PG era, he just teamed with Epico, and it's like, what happened to you?
Well, that fucked him getting it. See, when you get shoved into a tag team and you're a singles guy, it's never going to end. It's never going to end well, unless it's a short-term thing,
and you're taking over the brand or something.
Like a two-man power.
Not doubling your Apple stand on the side of the street. You know
Carlito teaming up with his wee cousin for Puerto Rico was never going to
selling apple juice for a buck.
That's the same thing as being in the LWO.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing, teaming up with a bum, isn't it?
But it's Caribbean, you know?
You know, it's like Rey Mysterio on his own feels like a deal, but you stick him with Dragon Lee and all of a sudden Rey Mysterio's stock drops.
It's because... banana peel.
Aye. Anyway, this is what Carlito said on X/Twitter. He said, quote, "My contract is up in 2 weeks. It will not be renewed." End of quote. He then went on to joke about the reason why he's been released, and he claimed it was because of a financial dispute. This is tongue-in-cheek, but Carlito said the following. "On top of that, WWE is demanding I pay back the money they paid me for apparently stealing money from the company. I've had my lawyers look into it, and after reviewing my footage on Netflix for the past months, they've suggested I pay them back the money." End of quote. And he added in a blush face emoji in there. So basically, what he's saying is his run's been fucking awful, and he's been stealing a paycheck because of how bad it's been. The fact he's had nothing to do, and I mean he's correct there in a way.
Yes, no, obviously,
no, through no fault of his own. But that's him.
They won't be able to read that though.
That's him bashing the booking. That's him basically saying, yeah, you know what, this company's treated me like shite.
Well, it's safe to say Carlito won't be seen again. 2 weeks to go, but he will not be seen.
This is him not going to gracefully. He's bashed the company and saying that what they've done with him's garbage.
Yep.
And that he's basically been stealing money because he's had nothing to do. And he's saying that as soon as his lawyers looked at the footage, they said, "Aye, you should suggest that they should pay them back that money." I mean, the guy's joked here that
it's put in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
And then he went on to say, quote, "All jokes aside, gracias WWE, and especially the WWE Universe," end of quote. There was more in Spanish, but I can't really read it. And he finished it by saying, quote, "P.S. I'll reappear again in 13 years. Dios me los bendiga," end of quote. So that's what Carlito had to say regarding that.
Will we be watching in 13 years? I
hope not. I really hope not. Speaking of Carlito, he did win a title 2 nights ago at, what was it? WWC's Summer Madness event. The flagship promotion is run by his father, Carlos Colon. So, tells me that maybe he knew...
I thought he'd be dead.
Maybe he knew he was not getting renewed. I don't know. But he's got a championship now. He's running about with a belt. The WWC Puerto Rico Championship.
You know what's funny though? You notice the way like Carlito and R-Truth get released, and there's a decent deal being made about it, but then like you see all these people that have been released like like a month ago.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares because they're just from errors that are fucking dead.
Yeah.
That's the truth here. Like, yeah, there was a wee bit about Strowman, but again, it's it's like the big deals about R-Truth. I haven't really seen too much outrage about Carlito, but it's like there's still a bigger deal than everyone else.
Yep.
Because they actually add stuff.
Yeah, so, yeah, that means Judgment Day will now be down a member in a few weeks. Carlito's last appearance in a wrestling ring competing was at the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania 41. Just garbage. The guy deserves so much more. Could have been great. I look at him and R-Truth. If they weren't good enough to win world titles back in the day, they were certainly good enough to win world titles in the last 10 years, and for some reason it's evaded them. Sad to see, but is what it is.
But that's the problem. He returned at Backlash a couple of years ago. Monster pop.
And they done fucking nothing with him.
Yep. So that's there.
He went for being a jobber. He went for being a nothing guy in the LWO to being a nothing guy in the Judgment Day.
Yep. That's about it. The apple has been spoiled.
Yep, so maybe the TNA is hiring.
TNA's hiring.
So we'll see if these guys turn up in TNA. But sad to see Carlito go, but at the end of the day, he went missing shit because he wasn't doing shit, guys. That's it. Let's know your thoughts down below. Not cool, but, Triple H's booking's not cool either. So, yeah, Carlito is gone. Triple H never really liked Carlito anyway, did he? And Triple H doesn't really like people that look like R-Truth, so I mean, I'm surprised. No, but I'm sure there'll be, shitey guys that are in their 40s, 50s that will be kept around. You gotta play the game, you gotta kiss Triple H's arse. Bring back McMahon, he'd keep these guys in a job.
Of course he
Anyway, that's it. Till next time, peace.